Hey, YouTube. I had a few minutes available, so I wanted to come to you guys tonight and go through my first month. Of course, I have my accountability partner here with me, Nico. So if he starts barking, I apologize. We all know how these poodles are. But I wanted to go over my first month with you guys and give you a week to week update on how everything is going. So I started my journey towards the end of March. I actually had a coworker of mine who was the first person to tell me about Zepbound. Of course, I had heard about all the medicines before in regards to Ozempic, but I had never heard of Zepbound, and so she intrigued me when she told me about it. Of course, I had VSG surgery 3 years ago. She also had the surgery, and she let me know that this was a medicine that she was using to help her get back on track and to try and get things back in order. Um, for me, I was looking for something similar as well because I had my VSG surgery back in April of 2021. I started working from home 2 years ago. And when I started working from home 2 years ago, habits changed a lot. I wasn't moving around as much. And then on top of that, I wasn't leading the lifestyle that I should have been leading. And so I had to figure out a way to make it right because my blood pressure started peaking again. And when I went to the doctor, I had a doctor's appointment back in March. When I went to the doctor and she told me that I was considered pre-diabetic again, when technically my A1C had been under control for the past 3 years, I knew it was time to make a change as soon as possible. Um, Also, side note, I'm a type 2 diabetic. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes back in July of 2020, which is what actually got me to start going through the whole VSG process. Um, so, back in March, of course, I went to my doctor. That's when I found out that my A1C was a 5.7. And on top of my A1C being a 5.7, some of my other labs were just out of whack. And so I knew at that point I had been talking about making a lifestyle change again. I hadn't got as serious as I should, but when I saw that A1C trickling back up, I knew it was time to go ahead and start getting things in order. And so I actually asked my doctor about going on a GLP-1. And when I referenced it, she just kind of brushed it off. Um, she wasn't really supportive per se when I wanted to get the whole VSG. And so I kind of had a feeling she wasn't really going to be as supportive when it came down to the GLP-1 as well. But I feel like everybody should have a community that they're able to go to. And so I have no problem with adding to my healthcare plan and adding to my doctors. And so I decided to look into it. And of course, I went on TikTok like everybody does and start learning a little bit more. I realized that I can go through a telehealth provider and start getting that type of information. And so I started researching it, and Plush Help, I'm sorry, Plush Care, sorry, Plush Care, ended up popping up on my Instagram one day when I was scrolling. And so I decided to look into it a little bit more. And when I did, I actually liked what I saw. They also accept my health insurance, or accepted, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day, accepted my health insurance, which is United Healthcare, and my prescription piece is Express Script. And so, um, looking at everything, it seemed like something that I want to do. So I went ahead and scheduled my first appointment. I had my first appointment in March. When I had my appointment in March, I had already, of course, had a lot of my lab results, but it was a few things in addition that he wanted to have as well. So he sent me to go and get a few more labs and results done. I had to wait probably about a week before I went and got my other labs done, only because I had a cruise that I was going on for my mom's 59th birthday, and I was leaving the next day, so I couldn't go get the lab results. So I had, I'm not sorry, the labs done. So I went and got them done when I made it back to North Carolina from our cruise that next week. And so once those results came in, that's when I had my appointment with him at the beginning of April. I was approved, well, I'm sorry, the end of March. I had my appointment with him. I was approved to go on Zepbound. He went ahead and prescribed my Zepbound for me, of course, 2.5 milligrams. I went ahead and had that sent over to my local Walgreens. I had no trouble getting the first box. The 2.5, I had no trouble getting, no problems whatsoever. So I knew I had saw a lot of people was having issues with shortages. So I was honestly nervous, but I had no issues getting that first box. But come to find out, nobody really has issues getting that first box. But neither said nor neither there. But got my first box. I started actually taking my medicine on April the 2nd. And so when I started taking my medicine on April 2nd, my starting weight was 196. So I started out at 196 pounds. And so I have the dates wrote down here just to kind of give you guys how much I lost on a week to week basis. So that first week I took it on a Tuesday. The reason I chose a Tuesday, I know a lot of people like to choose towards the latter part of the week. Again, I work from home, and so I have times when I go into the office, but I don't have to go into the office as much as a lot of other people do. And so Tuesdays just work best for me because usually on my weekends, I'm in a long distance relationship. That's why I have a few minutes of open right now. My boyfriend is actually on the way in town. And so, a lot of times my weekends, either I'm going to Virginia or he's coming here to North Carolina. And so I didn't want to make it where if I did have any type of symptoms or any type of effects from the medicine, I didn't want it where it messed up my weekends. So that's why I chose to do mine on Tuesdays, because usually on Tuesdays I'm just at home working in my office, and so I can manage my symptoms a whole lot better at home compared to being out and about. So that Tuesdays just work best for me. So I took my first shot on April the 2nd. Like I said, I was 196 when I took that first shot. When I took that first shot, I literally probably within hours started to see that food noise disappear. Like, y'all, when I tell you, it's so funny because before going on that medicine, excuse me, sir, let me talk. Nico, move. So, so before going on the medicine, thank you. So before going on the medicine, I didn't realize that those food noises was an actual thing. Like, I've actually dealt with the ups and downs of weight for my whole adult life, honestly, to say the least. And I've always had those noises, but I did not realize how serious that was until I took that first shot and it just got quiet. It was the best feeling, like literally the best feeling. So that was one of the side effects that, in my opinion, I'll take that side effect any day. I honestly wish I was having it right now. I'll go into that later. But yeah, that was a beautiful feeling, and it let me know that okay, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. Also, that first week, I did start experiencing gas, and when I say like not like tooting, letting gas out all the time, but like the gas was like getting built up in my body, and when the gas would get built up, it would get like, you know how gas get real bad and start getting trapped in certain areas of your body like that. Yeah, I got the gas really bad, and I also got the constipation after a few days, which is funny for me because again I have IBSD, and so for me to be in a situation where I'm used to using the restroom multiple times a day with no issue whatsoever to I was lucky if I was doing it once every 2 days, it was, yeah, definitely caught me off guard. Wasn't expecting that. But that's neither here nor there. Those were the two main things that I experienced that first week: the gas and the food noises being silent, which was great because I can deal with gas. I'll take that any day of the week. So, one thing that I also did that first week as well, since I knew I was going to be kickstarting everything, I did do a detox because I wanted to help cleanse my system out a little bit more from a lot of the stuff that, of course, you eat on a regular basis. Because I wasn't eating the best fried foods, like I wasn't eating the best. So I want to make sure I kind of cleanse myself a little bit. So I did take a detox. One thing I did notice, which is so funny, so the detox that I used is called the cleaner. If you've never heard of the cleaner, they sell it like at GNC. look into the cleaner. The cleaner is real. It's real. But when I took it this time while on this GLP-1, it did not affect me as much as it usually does whenever I take it. So I knew that this medicine was definitely suppressing, because it was also suppressing the cleaner medicine, which usually have you running to the bathroom, running to the bathroom. So that, yeah, that was another sign like, okay, this medicine is really working. So, after, like I said, that first week, no problem at all. No other side effects besides the constipation and the gas. So going into my second week, I stepped on the scale again on April the 9th. And when I got on the scale that day, I was at 186.9, which was crazy to me. Like literally the first week, I almost lost 10 pounds in the first week. Yeah, man, like, yeah, I was mind blown to say the least. And if I wasn't affirmed at that point, that reaffirmed me. I knew this was the best thing for me. And so moving over to the third week, so I took my weight that third week on the 16th. And when I hit the scale that day, I was at 185.2. So I had only lost a pound and some change, which for me honestly was fine, because again, that first week was a lot. Healthy weight loss is honestly between zero point 0.5 pounds and 2 pounds a week. So losing that pound and a half that week, I was completely fine with it. Like, still heavily motivated, still excited moving forward. On week 4, I took my weight on 4/24, so I didn't take it on the Tuesday. I took it on a Wednesday instead. The reason being is because I had went to New Orleans that weekend. Me and my boyfriend went to New Orleans, which, y'all, I am a foodie. We literally went to New Orleans just to eat, and I could not eat like I wanted to in New Orleans, y'all. Like, I went to this place called Willie's, which is one of the best chicken spots in New Orleans. Y'all, I got the three piece chicken tender. I ate one chicken tender. One. I was so disappointed in myself and excited for myself all at the same time, because I knew my medicine was working. It was doing what it was supposed to do. It was making it where I was not binging. I was not eating excess. Like, literally, I went to one restaurant and all I ordered was some French onion soup. That was it. Like, for me to go on a food trip to New Orleans and not eat like that, like, y'all, I was, yeah. I knew that medicine was doing what she was supposed to do, because baby, she made sure I did not eat. I did not. I indulged. I'm not gonna say I'm not. I didn't indulge. I did enjoy the foods that I did have, but I ate it on such a small scale. Like, I was in. I was in. Well, I wasn't in control. That medicine was in control, and it was helping me to control better. But yeah, that was bananas. And so, um, moving forward, I got back, of course, like I said, to that measurement on 4/24. When I measured myself on 4/24, I was at 182 pounds on the dot. So I had lost 3.2 pounds that next week. So was absolutely ecstatic about that as well, especially coming off of a food trip and still to have lost over 3 pounds. I was so proud of myself that that happened. Also, I need to make sure I mention as well, during those first 4 weeks, I was making sure that I was staying active in some way, shape, or form. That was another thing that I made sure that I said I was going to commit to, because being at home and being in front of the computer all the time, I was not being as active as I should. And so I make sure I have a walking treadmill. I actually had bought it a few months ago. And I actually put it to use daily now. So I have a walking treadmill, and so I walk at least 30 minutes every morning on my walking treadmill. That gives me a mile and a half. And then, of course, Nico. I take Nico on a daily walk. I live in an area where there's a lot of trails in my neighborhood. Like, it's literally a trail right here behind my house. It's a park right in front of my neighborhood. So me and Nico will either walk on the trail, we'll go walk to the park, or we'll just walk around the neighborhood. And we do that in no less than 30 minutes. Sometimes we do it 30 minutes, between 30 minutes and an hour, depending on where we're going. But that helps me get my steps in as well. When I got back, I ran into the issue where my doctor was going to put me on another box of the 2.5, and Express Scripts said that I exceeded the limit that they provide for us. So Of course, I get 2.5 milligrams. They only give you 2 milliliters per month, and so I had to get a PLA done, and so I ended up missing week 5. So I didn't even get a shot week 5, which hurt my heart because it took so long for my PLA to get complete. It literally took my PLA wasn't done until I think it took 13 days for them to finally get everything completed. I was almost about to miss another shot. Like, yeah, it took forever in a day. But I'm on 2.5 now. Actually took my second week of my 2.5 this past Tuesday. So after this 2.5, I already have a prescription in for 5 milligrams. I'm just like everybody else trying to find it right now. Like, it's so hard to try and find a box that is 5 milligrams Zepbound. But I have been making sure that I call around because I do have 2 shots left. I have my next shot coming up on Tuesday. Today's Friday. So I do have 2 shots left. So I still have a little bit of time to kind of hunt down a 5 milligram box. If you don't know, Sam's Club does have a list, or some of the Sam's Clubs do have a list where you can go on their list, and when they get them in, they'll actually call you. I'm here close to the Raleigh area, and so the Wake Med here, they get their pharmacy. They actually get some in, and they actually put a note on their voicemail to let you know which ones they actually have in stock right now. And the only ones they have in stock right now is 2.5, and I want to say I think it was 15. So I call them on a daily just to see what they have in stock too. Hopefully, they'll get some in early next week. But like I said, I'm calling around. I even went home to South Carolina this past weekend for Mother's Day. Y'all, the Walgreens down there told me nobody in a 450-mile radius had it in stock. So yeah, but I'm not gonna let that discourage me. Of course, I'm still gonna continue to try and find my medicine. When I took my weight on 5/3, because I wanted to make sure I did it at exactly a month. So since one full month was going to be from April the 2nd, I should have took my weight on May 2nd. I don't know why I didn't take it May 2nd, to be honest, but I took my weight on May 2nd. On May 3rd, and when I took my weight on May 3rd, I was at 176.6. So in the first full month, I actually lost 20 pounds on Zepbound, which I can already see the difference, y'all, and it is so good to see. But I always tell people, don't let the scale be your only victory. Like, I have a tape measure, and I actually make sure I check my measurements all the time. Every time I do my weight, I also check my measurements as well, and I've lost a ton of inches in the first month. So make sure you're looking at that too, because for me, I'm big in the belly, and so seeing that move inch wise, I'm happy more to see that than I am to see that scale, to be honest. So make sure, if you haven't, make sure that you're getting those measurements in. And another thing, make sure you're taking those photos too. Like, every time that I jump on the scale, I have a mirror in my hallway. I make sure I take a picture, a full body picture in front of my mirror. And the other day, I actually did a little collage to go back to the first picture that I took when I was 196, compared to the picture for me now. And I can see the difference. And that's the part that's so important to me. I also take my blood pressure on a daily basis as well, because, like I said, I have blood pressure issues, and I'm already seeing the difference in my blood pressure. I'm actually going to reach out to my PCP because she might have to bring that medicine down, because I'm having some days where I do get a little lightheaded, and when I do get a little lightheaded, I check my blood pressure, and I can tell that is low, and so I check it, and of course it's showing a little bit lower than it should sometimes. And so I'm definitely going to reach out to my PCP in regards to kind of changing my meds a little bit, because since I am losing weight, I'm starting to see that my blood pressure is also doing a whole lot better. So I might be on too much medicine right now. But yeah, I just wanted to come to you guys really quick, talk about my first month. Definitely, if you have any questions at all, please drop them in the comments below. Also, subscribe, guys. I'm trying to get my followers up, so subscribe so I can continue making material like this for you all, and bringing you all on my journey with me as well. Also, if there's anything that you want me to talk about, feel free to ask. Like I said, I had VSG back in April of 2021, so I do have a lot of my information and things from that time frame as well. My heaviest weight when I had my VSG was 224.6 pounds. So, and then I got all the way down to 165 when I had VSG, which I wish I could have lost so much more, but me getting in my own head, sometimes I lost motivation. And like I said, when I started on this journey, I had got all the way back up to 196. And so right now, my personal goal is to get past that 165 mark. So I'm trying to at least hit 160. My stretch goal, probably about 145, 150. I don't want to go too small because no. But like I said, my goal is to at least exceed where I did with my VSG and try and get this lifestyle under control. I have a daughter, so I definitely want to make sure I put in another 50 years on this earth. I'm 38, so I want to put some more time in on this earth and make it the best as possible. So again, if y'all have any questions about anything, definitely feel free to ask. But that's it for tonight. Y'all have a good one.